Hi guys. Let's do it to it. Had to get some water. We'll start one up. Boom. Let's see what we could do here. Hey, how you doing? Let's see if I can't eyeball that here. Yeah, we got him now. Yeah, we got a see if I can't come there. I'm just gonna play there and What did I do wrong here? Let's see. So here, okay. Okay, I kind of get now what to do, so let's give it a go again. Alrighty. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Go for more of an attack. I'm kind of see if I can't pound my way through his defenses. Then I'll retreat back. I'll probably play either here or there. Thought he might play there. Keep an eye on this pawn, which keeps an eye on the way eyeballs c7. c7 is the place we want to go. c7 for me. c7. I want to dominate c7. Let's see if we can. Okay. He left the game. That means he resigns. We got him. Congrats, guys. Hurrah. Just gotta wait till they allow me to have the victory. The victory. Do, do, do. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some more of the Benko, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let's wait. I have to claim victory, and then we'll do one more, and we'll get on to our lesson. Benoni. Oh, Benoni. Let me see. Oh, I gotcha. Maybe I'm. Let me see. Oh, Benoni. Yeah. Yeah, pronouncing that wrong. It's yeah, Benoni. Yeah. Yeah. I knew I was pronouncing that oddly, but we got it now. Let's use some of Simon Williams's French endgame studies. Just grab that. The killer French. Now this is weak, so you're gonna want to gang up on it. And then I'll play bishop d7. Let's see if I can't take my scope there on. There we go. Now I got a scope there, there. Yeah, that's gonna fall. Then I'm gonna play bishop to get rid of the pin. I play bishop d6, and we're operation go. Castles, and we're up a whole pawn. Now let's see if we can't convert it. Let's stop that from even happening. Get on out of there. Get rid of that. And then, boom. Kerplunk. Now we have it fortified. should be like 3 pawns up here. Actually 5. Another pawn is on pre, so we'll take care of that. Oh, so he fixed that problem. Now let's give him another sitch. I'll try one more with him. It's only the right thing to do. I'm going to try to play queen to c7. I think his queen's trapped, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's any hope for his queen to get out. So he's kind of he'll resign here. And then we'll start our thing. That was a good game. We're gonna win this. Take a second to wrap up the victory. Put your bishop there, attack his rook. This is still hanging. That's hanging. There goes another, there goes a piece. It plays there. He's got to retreat back and then pick up his knight. Let's see if I can't checkmate there. Okay, let's take a looky. Whoa. Let's turn off the engine. Okay, A4, C6, so the Caro-Kann. D4, D5. Oh, we did the advanced variation of the Caro-Kann. It kinda, from what I've heard, it surrenders F5. I remember watching a video on that. That this does give white a tremendous amount of space, but it surrenders F5 to black's bishop, so that after the bishop comes out, he can actually lock down with E6, and then his bishop's outside the pawn chain. But white does have a compensation for it, extra space in the center, so give and take, right? Oh, nice. So trying to go for the old trap here, and then, this is funny. If he gets it in there, oh, I'm just gonna come here, oh, I'm gonna go back there, and it's all over. So H5 is forced. If he does this, he gets the surprise of his life with that, and then all of a sudden he gets that. Then you're like, oh no, and then he comes back and thank you for your piece. So that's why H5 was played, if you guys were ever wondering. That's the old fork trick. Bishop G5. Nice. That's a really strong move. That takes scope on here, so this pawn push now is not good. And if F3 or F6 just damages more of white's light squares. So F6, it would damage these squares for a knight to just jump in. Like if he can get here, here, here. Let me see, how can we get a light square? We have to get over there somehow. But okay. So nice. Okay. Remember our idea. We have oops, strat. Sorry guys. It's about that tap there. We do have this idea. Remember, if he plays here, the only problem this time is he has a bishop here, so he can actually grab the pawn if you're thinking that this is playable, or he can just grab it that way. So we can't do this at this moment. So that's sad. So we play there. It's forced at that point. So takes, queen takes, and they'll be like, thank you for the piece. Then white comes over here. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this is a very dangerous attack for white. If black gets greedy and takes, ooh boy. Hey, how you doing, Fox? We get a check there. I think we have even if we wanted to. He can intercept there. Then he takes. So I think we lose our potential ability. So more likely we would just play there. And then if he takes, we can actually do an immortal type of game. We play up there, and if he plays here, what you could do is check at this point. When he comes over, you now can bring your queen in. If he takes, you take. Comes up, you take there. Now you're threatening here, so you probably want to play there, and then I try to see if I can't. Let's say he takes there, check, I'd move my king over with the threat of here, so he's gonna have to play something like that, and then you get mate. So yeah, it's kind of it's a pretty interesting attack, to say the least. White's got a pretty big attack here. He gets two rooks for the queen, so let's see if he can actually convert it. Let's see if white can convert his advantage. He's got this monster choke point right here on the black king. Black's pawn structures are devastated. He's got a weak c6 pawn that could easily be honed on by queen to c5 right away. Would be then if he plays there. You do have to be careful because now he defends there. So you kind of helped black out. So probably queen there is the best move at this present moment. Trying to think what would actually be a pretty good move. I was thinking of something like that, but he could just take at that point. We'd have to do a little bit of dancing around, so maybe knight e d, and then in here might be a good idea. We could dance into c, do the dance, the knight dance, do the dance into c5. So he played c4. Huh, wow. If he takes, you can't actually take, because if you do and allows this, then when he tries to take, he gets a fork, and that is not fun, because he's gonna have to move, and then boom, you pick up a rook with check. And then boom, you pick up another pawn with check, and then wham, you pick up a pawn with check, and then check. He's got to move, and then you pick up the knight, bang. It's like, oh, ouch. Now you see the power of the queen. Boom, bang, boom, kabooey. Our explosion, bang. There we go. So that's why he takes. If you're wondering about that, he would have got smacked totally so hard it wouldn't have been fun. I'm not surprised. It's whoever played as white is basically just kicking the heck out of the black player. This is like white's just smashing black. Black's pieces are all in the back rank, and now he's taking scope on these pawns, potentially even infiltration there. That's mate here. So you have 3 attacks. The king has to move up, and then now you're gonna be potentially checkmating with either one of these squares. I'd probably checkmate with that. Oh, so he's actually playing C. Let's take a look to see if we can't actually win with this. He moves back, moves over, moves up, he takes, so he can't take, so he moves, boom, yeah. This actually leads to mate, so whoever played this could have actually made it, I think, in 8. Let's see. Oh, he can intercept there. But that would not be fun. No. Okay, that makes sense. So he plays there. You take there. Okay, just grab. Remember, he could have intercepted here on c6. That would not have been very sweet for us. He plays there. And then I'd see if we couldn't deprive him of here. He only has these two squares to go to. That leads to just nothing but destruction. Because then we can actually play there. He plays up. We take, knight takes. And he's basically just getting torn apart. Piece by piece. Wow, that was so much fun to play. I can't believe they missed it. That was so close. All he needed to do was find knight to e5, and all things are possible at that point. All things of nothing but fun, and more fun for white. Oh. But more pain and pain for black. There we go. He's finally found e5. There we go. And now that this rook's cut off, it's basically white's toast. I mean, black's toast. Boom. See you later. Nice play. Let's see what. So it liked our idea of this. Check. Yep. So we actually found it. Check. Wow, that was fun. That was a fun game for sure. Very fun. You love those type of crush, smash, bang, destroy games. You don't get to deliver that every day on the chessboard. That type of devastation of an attack. Okay, we'll start in, and thank you, Play the Grub, for the game. That was really good. That was very entertaining for to show what happens if you don't develop properly. You get crushed, totally. And I don't usually like saying crush, but you do. Yeah, I'm sure it would have been fun to have gone there. The move order. There's actually a couple move orders. Instead of d4, there's actually c5. There's knight f6, and of course knight f6, d4, c5. Knight f6. Okay, so there's two lines to knight f6, so we'll go over the first line here. c5 or c4. Oh, not c4. What am I talking about? Gotta look at my notes a little better. That's funny. Oh, you want to do a Leela game? Okay. We'll do one Leela game. Then we have to get on to the London. Then we'll do some puzzles and wrap it up. Okie dokie. Oops, I have to turn off the engine. There we go. So knight c3, knight f6, d4, he takes d4, queen takes d. Oh, so this reminds me very similar of the what do they call that? Oh, I forgot. I'll remember it. I haven't played the line in so long. It's when the queen comes out. It's not the Slav. Scandinavian, there it is. I knew it, just took a second. This reminds me of the Scandinavian. Yeah, there we go. But usually white plays this way. Along here. This is kind of a setup. That's mainly the old main line. This is kind of a newer line. I haven't really studied. I don't. Queen f2 is an interesting move. Castle queenside, yeah. That's pretty powerful of a move. If you take here, you take. He takes. Takes. And we can't allow that, so we'll just expand out. If he takes there, we'll take. And so now we have another knight move there. So that's pretty fun. Queen, bishop b4. And then we just develop. Now we potentially could actually move our bishop back for a double attack. Oh wow, he grabbed the pawn. Whoa. That is greedy. Gotta love. I remember what Yazzer says: see a pawn, grab a pawn. I like that. And we don't really even mind if bishop takes the rook, because then we can just reconnect our pawns. And of course, the engine loves a huge pawn center, so a5. There you go, there's the pawn mass. And they don't even mind if they trade down, because this mass of pawns is going to steamroll down the board and basically destroy white. It's very interesting. It reminds me of the game, I think, that you showed me. It was yesterday or a couple days ago. Very similar pattern setups. So it tells you guys that there are patterns in chess that you have to learn, because a lot of similar ideas are played by the engine, like letting the rook hang and having this setup reminds me very similar of one we priorly went over. So the algorithm does do certain patterns. Are the nodes, sorry, on in chess they call it nodes. So king up. So bishop d7, knight b5, pawn take, so rook takes pawn, and there comes the pawn mass destroyer, or as Transformers, Unicron, like Unicron mass of pawns. Knight, bishop c4, because this would allow for a sweet discovery. Sweet. We first would, if he, let's say, played something like, we'll say here. First of all, we grab that, and then if he got a little too greedy, we could just push there. And then he'd be like, oh no, what happened? Then he'd grab that, and if he grabs, You take with the king, of course, because you don't want to take with the pawn and have a problem there. You can't take here, so we're just totally destroying at that point. So he has to move the king, which gives us enough time to go a5. Now what you gonna do? Kind of telling the other engine. And you gotta love this bishop. It has a great role of going bishop d3, so sweet. a5. Check. Yeah, taking's nothing but a waste of time. Not in time, my friend, not in time. Rook f1, e3, e7, rook d1, king c7, rook d4. See, okay, king c7, okay. So basically they're jostling for position. He has to keep his rook here, guys, on this file, because if he ever, oops, sorry about that. We'll get to that point. There we go, back to what I was saying. He has to keep his rook here, because if he doesn't, if he, let's say he just moves it here, we can get right in there and win. If he plays here, we check, he plays there, and then you come back and you got it. You picked up the rook, so he can't even stay by the. You just put your queen there, take. Now you're up a whole piece, a whole minor piece. King f6. Pawn takes, rook takes e, takes, and there's such an attack that it has to be played. Check. And black resigns. Well played. I will do a casual, non-rated one, a 10-minute one. Great game. Now we'll go over our lines. Okay. I'm not gonna, that's just too, I don't see any compensation to that, so. Let's see, what's the plan? See if he plays queen takes. I don't really see any problem with that. I'm doing pretty good here. I think we're do one more, and then we got to get on to our lesson. I have a pin on the rook, so that should hold for a little bit. I can't do another one, otherwise I won't have enough time for the lesson. I appreciate the game. That was really good. I thank you for the game. I might play one a little bit later. Okay. But probably maybe tomorrow, if you get on, I will play one more. But I have to get on too, otherwise I won't be able to finish. This is kind of a little longer of the Benoni, and I said it right this time. So I don't know why I kept saying Banco. That's the Benoni. Okay. Okay, let's see. C3. Hold on, did I do that? Let's see. Yeah, C3, gotcha. C takes. D takes. This is one of the sublines of the lines. D5, knight F3, and knight to F6. This is like a Slavic kind of exchange setup in the London. Then there's the knight F6. This is the first move that he went over some sidelines. Oops, 1 second. What did I? Hold on, D4. Okay, D4, knight F6. That's right. Gotcha. Oh, sorry. D4, knight F6. There we go. I'm on the right one now. That's funny. Okay, this goes back to one of our sublines, the King's Indian, or the India defense. This is a fun one. And then C5, C3. Kind of more, if you want more of a spicy setup, you can actually push here and go for more of an exchange line. That's kind of an interesting line. You could go down, or you can go E3, queen there, and you may lose a pawn. So it all depends. This is more solid if you're more of a positional player. C3 is what you would want to play here. Okay, okay, C3, C takes D, C takes D, and D5. Or let's see, D takes C, D. Now there's another line instead of F. Let's see. Now, okay, on move 3. instead there's a D5 move that could be played, and then what you do is you play D takes C exclam. This is the only one that gets you an exclam mark, because if he allots you, grab the pawn, see if you can't hold it, make your opponent have to work through the entire game to get the pawn back. Make them think, how can I get the pawn back? How can I get the pawn back? This goes back to our chapter 10 line setup of the game, of a couple of our games. Go to chapter 10. So there, C, C6, and then C takes D5. This is actually the author is analyzing one of his games. He needed to, in this game, if he could beat this player, he would get enough rating, enough for a IM norm. This was an IM player, and he would get his IM, and that's really cool. Yeah, he got kind of, during this one, he kind of got sick, and so he's like, but he still won. So that was a really good game. That's really good. And so he didn't. He says that his opponent went more for the Slav exchange, and he didn't have to actually calculate a lot because he wasn't. He was kind of under the weather. He was under the weather in that, so he went for the exchange Slav defense. And basically, it's like the four knights kind of setup, almost. And then he says that the best chance for black is actually to go for the symmetrical line is the best shot, because it will hold for black for the time being, but black eventually can't copy forever. And so we play e6 and he plays e6. We play queen to b3 and he plays queen b4. There's also a line queen b5. Let's see, queen b, or it's not queen b5. Oh, I'm sorry, for white. That's funny. B5, I was like, how could it be black's turn? I had to relook at my notes. Knight d7, castles, castle kingside for white, bishop e7, queen b3, and then black castle kingside, rook f c1, c8, rook c8 for black. They're just developing, challenging the open file. Bishop takes knight, b takes the bishop, queen b7, taking over the 7th rank and totally dominating the 7th here, because this bishop goes there, queen. It's like at this moment white has domination of the 7th for a while. And then g5, exclam, kabang. Remember, if you're getting attacked in the center, you attack on the wing and try to pull your enemy or your opponent into reacting to your ideas. So bishop g3, h5, h3 to have a flight square, g4, h takes g, and knight d2. White will win a pawn on the queen side pretty soon. This pawn will fall on the a pawn. So after all the smoke's cleared and all the gunpowder has been fired, white will emerge a pawn up. Okay, there is a sub-line. Instead of castles on move 9, white can actually play queen to a4. This will pick up a pawn as well. It's most commonly played, this move, for white. And then now that it would be black to move, black usually could play at this moment g5, which is a very interesting setup because g5 allows, it kicks the bishop back, and h5 it kind of expands on the king side, so that basically black could decide later on to castle queen side, because white's castled already. That's why you got to be really careful when you castle, that your opponent may not want to castle and he'll pawn storm. If he can get his king safe in the center, he'll pawn storm on you and you'll be in trouble. This is a very tense position, and of course, in my opinion, the most common move would either be h3. That's actually the most common move. It actually stopped at h5, but h3 would be the most, because if he tries h4, you just retreat back. So queen to b3 was played. Bishop b4, b5, and then a5. There's also, for black, if black wants to play a little more cautious, castle kingside. White castles, of course, to get out of this pin. Bishop takes knight. Let's see, bishop takes. Oh, we take. Bishop takes. Kind of symmetrical. Takes. Then we take. Should we? Do we take at this point? Let me see. Then he plays rook to d8. Bishop takes. So we don't really have to do it because we can actually trade our dark squared bishop off and get the bishops of the same color. That's funny. Let me see. Queen takes, and then rook to c1 with potential domination on the there. Yeah, it's kind of too bad we couldn't play this tactic, but the knight would take, and it's protected by the pawn. If this pawn wasn't protected, you could play bishop there. Knight takes and queen takes, and you picked up a whole pawn. So, but of course it's protected. So bishop g, queen a5, castles. Let's see. Hold on? I think oops, sorry guys. The line keeps continuing on. It's on my next note page. White may still hold a small advantage here because black can't easily challenge the c file with his rook, but it's a very small advantage. Like h6, h3, 94, 95. Queen d7, d8, rook c8, queen a5, which is a mistake in this line. And then rook takes, check, king takes, and bishop takes d. d5. Black only has basically three choices to play here. The first choice is e takes d, which would drop the queen basically. Let me see here. It takes d, queen b8, e7, and then you have a fork. So the queen drops in that line. Second one is queen to e1, king h2, e takes d, queen check, king e7, queen c7, king e8, knight c6. Oops, not d8. What am I doing? E8. Queen c6, and this threatens to checkmate. Of course, you guys see right here on e7. So d7 has to be played. Bishop d7. Queen to what did I miss here? Uh-oh. Back here, that's my problem. I needed to check with the queen there. My bad. That makes more sense than knight c6, and now that gets it exclam. So many lines, so little time, right? Bishop d, and queen to d8 equals mate. Then there's another line with the queen takes this time. Queen takes, b check, e7 of course, again queen c, e8 back, same line, and then knight c6, and of course that gets another exclam because you're threatening mate again, and there's nothing that could actually be played that's beneficial. So let's see here, and that's it. That for that one. Then there's black's best choice, besides the queen to a5, would have actually been queen to e7. This is his best choice. Then queen takes, or sorry, king takes. Not king takes. Yeah, king takes. Gotcha. And then bishop to c6. This threatens again to checkmate. So c7 should be a perpetual draw. There's no way for black to make any, white or black to make any progress here. So it would end up a draw. So there. Castles. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and then bishop c7. This is an interesting move. It forces the swap of black's good bishop for white's bad bishop, bad active bishop, and that's forced. And this move right here, this allows black to basically achieve c5 potentially to be played, but black doesn't fully equalize with the freeing break of, let me see, where are we at right here, knight. We actually have knight instead of here. We could actually play knight to h4, not h4, sorry, knight a4, there we go. That's actually the best for white. He played incorrectly and did a dubious move. A4 would have actually allowed for the knight to end up to c4. But he didn't do that, so he played rook a b8. Queen goes to a3. C5 is a really nice gambit line. D takes c. It's not a gambit line, I shouldn't say gambit. It's a really nice freeing move for black. And then knight takes, and then pawn takes, exclam. This picks up a pawn in the line. D, check. So we picked up a whole pawn. You gotta love that. King h8, rook to c3. That's under fire. So knight takes the pawn. So he gets the pawn back, black does. But we get to trade off, and we can now he has a broken, in theory, pawn structure. It's not as strong as ours. So ours goes like this, his goes up and over. So we have a slight advantage, very slight. Okay, so rook d4, knight d4. Let me make sure I have this right. Yep, knight d4, g6, and rook a c1. That was a mistake. He said this was pretty silly on his part. He says the best move. He says he can't believe he forgot. You know, sometimes how I'm like, I can't believe I didn't see that. He didn't see that he can move his rook up to c7, and he's more likely a international master now. This player, the book author, is, and the international master, even under the weather, missed this move. So he just doubled up. A5 was dubious. The best idea for black would have actually been b7, because if what black could have said, since you don't want the 7th rank and you didn't take it, I'm gonna guard it, and then he could have doubled up his rooks. This rook would have doubled up, and black has a flight square, white doesn't. So this could spell disaster for white on his back rank. So g3, now white has a flight square. b6, which is an interesting move. There's also he played f1. There's actually a better move here for white. Bishop to, rook b3, and now this, actually, I'm sorry, hold on. Instead of here, that's right, I gotta get rid of this, because there's a subline for this here. If black just plays b7 here rather than b6, that's actually a mistake. Because then rook b1, exclaim, rook takes b3, a takes b3, a4, rook b1. Now we're attacking the knight. So let's see here. Rook a8. Oops. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, a1. Let's continue on. Where did we leave off? Oh, perfect. Gotcha. Okay, a7, b2, b2, okay, b1, a3. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm on the right track here. B1. Oh, my bad. It's actually a3. Silly me. Knight c2, exclaim. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I miss my notes a little bit on my notes. Rook a8, so that he could push onward. Now that rook a8 makes more sense. Knight takes. Rook takes. Knight d3, actually, sorry. Come on. Follow the notes. Follow the notes. A2. Now white has the open file, and then B4 starts the push. Okay. Now let's see what happens here. F, B8, Rook C7. Exclam, because of course you guys see it's challenging the 7. So rook takes, of course. Pawn takes, A4. A takes B4, knight takes. Then white picks up a pawn. Not only is black down a pawn, but his king and his H file are seriously weakened. Sweet. Okay, so let's get back. So rook 8, 5 is there. And then C7. C7, I had to employ the final reality that a rook on the 7th rank is a good thing. So he does that, and then he continues on. He just starts maneuvering, just slowly. He doesn't want to surrender this. This is an exclam. He wants to be able to double up. Rook C5, knight B, rook BD3 there, and then there. E6 was an exclam, by the way, because of course. Oh, drat. Sorry, guys. Of course, you see if he doesn't do that, let's just say he pushes his pawn. Or nope, I'm sorry, wrong. If he takes, you have the old classic checkmate, so he can't take. That's why it gets exclaimed. The knight can't be touched. Knight G5, and then rook takes, and black's up a whole white's up a whole pawn here. So I'll leave this with you guys to go over some puzzles, and I'll be right back. I have to pull up another one of these. Come on. Oh yeah, in summary, the exchange Slav, if you want to, back here real quick, we'll just wrap this up. This is the only way. What are you doing? This is the only way to kind of make it so that it changes. Otherwise, if you just continue onward, it potentially can go to a draw. Just wanted to let you guys know that. So just keep that in mind. Mix it up a little bit. Okay, be right back. Okay, we'll take a look at this one. Okay. Oops, black. Hold on, let me grab a drink, then we'll get started. Wow. Let's see here. So if we play e takes d5, I think that helps. Oh, c takes d5. Okay. So white's okay. Surrendering the majority on the queen side. See, white has 2, black has 3. But if white took this way, black has a potential break there. So I think that's kind of what the engine was a little concerned about. Is it worth this? And then you could play there. You take a take, and maybe slowly get a knight into here, eyeballing the pawn there. So that's why it took. Just develop the knight. This one move stops this at this moment. Now b5 could be playable, but we want to actually hop into e5, kind of tickle this bishop a little bit. Bishop c, rook e8. Now we're eyeballing the e4 pawn, a5 to lock it down forever. Queen to e7. Potentially we could get the rooks. That's a very odd move. What in the world does queen c7 do? What does queen c7 do? That's pretty weird. All I see is it connects the rooks. What do you, Fox? What is queen d? That's it. But isn't that just a one-move idea, though? My teacher told me it should have more than just one idea behind it. Huh. That's pretty peculiar. Yeah. c4. That's true. So hf, h6, f3, b5, a takes b6, rotates b6. So knight to bishop d3. It takes. Yeah. g5. Well, g4 is a bad move because it surrenders h4 like you're saying, Fox, and f4. So this is a long-term weaknesses. It makes the light square bishop tremendously bad, and it makes our bishop pretty. It's bad too because it's all the pawns are on opposite color. But we can trade off our bishop and for maybe a knight, and then have the two knights in a closed endgame. Loving it. Knight g6, bishop c4, queen e7, bishop c1. Okay. They're unwinding there and rerouting them properly. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me check this out. I think my mouse might have died on me. Let me see. I might have to replace it. Let's hope. Come on. Ah, sweet. I have enough juice, I think, for tonight. I might have to get a new battery for my mouse, wireless mouse. So bishop e5, bishop d2, queen f6, king h1. So they're just slowly, black slowly making this position, making their position better and better. That's one thing I noticed about the computer that we have to also master is patience. Patience, patience, patience. Rook a5. And then we double up rooks. We don't really want to take, because if we took, it'd be symmetrical pawn structure almost. Black's also down a no, he's equal. No, he's down a pawn. So you don't want to trade pieces off. You want to keep the pieces on the board. So h5 takes. And now G. Rook a. So G6 with the idea of H. R. Nice, even better. Just retreat it back and then it plopped the knight right in there. Plop. Loving it. Takes. Wow, it won a pawn. Sweet combo. Now we got a protected passer. Yeah, I see that now. So the c7 pawn queen going to c7. Actually, black's position solid, and he can support, like what you were saying back, Fox, that he can actually, the engine can support a pawn push, and that's what we want to keep in is actually the pawn push for the B pawn at the right moment. Okay, so they're just jostling for position. Now the two pawns are gonna rule the day. This allows for the king to enter here. So king e3 has to be played to stop it. Well, we could easily go b4, b5, or b3, and then push our sweetie down the board, a little sweet pawn. And black resigned here, I mean white resigned. There's really no way to stop. This is gonna queen. Wow, nice game. Very powerful maneuvering. We'll work on this puzzle here. That was a great game, especially for the Benoni. We learned a lot about Queen C7 in that line. That's pretty pretty big there. Deep, you have to see deep for that. Okay, I think I got it here. Bishop. Oops, I'm gonna move this. Bishop takes. Exactly. Bishop takes d6. If e takes d6, knight f3 check. King moves. King move, and then rook takes. Not rook, sorry. You can't do rook, because the queen would take our rook then. Knight takes e1. So here, 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 king there. I guess we could actually, no, we can't take. We could take here though, because if we tried taking here, even though then he could take back, then we take. The problem is he can grab our queen with check. So the move is bishop takes, pawn takes, knight to f3 check, king h1, and then knight takes e1. What do you guys think? What do you think, guys? What does queen takes g2 do? Oh. Oh, I see. My mind. Yeah, I gotcha. So bishop takes. Yeah. So bishop takes is right. So here. That's right. Here, here, there, or here. Then we take. Yeah. It has to be bishop takes at this point. And then knight takes. Boom. We'll give that a thumbs up. Okay. That would be a sweet finish, huh? I mean, I think we'll just do this one, then I have to log off. It depends on how long it takes. I remember what Economy said. He says, take the material. So let's see. In this line, if we take it, queen takes. So we need to play king to h2, king h2 maybe. King f1. Yeah. So we can't take. Can't we just take the knight though? If we play king h2, queen f4 check, king takes h3. You just take. I think that might be it. Let's check out Chess's line. Okay, here. Let's see if he plays there. Oh. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense now. But I agree with Fox in this one. King H2 has to be the only line that works because it we can take with the king this time. So I'm going King H2. What do you guys think? King H2? This idea here allows for there. And if we take, he takes and he's winning. Oh, you want to show Queen F4? Queen F4, yeah. Then we take. And I don't know if he doesn't have any more checks. His queen's almost trapped. And we're up at exchange. Yeah. So do you guys have any other questions before I log off? Yeah, that does kill all, doesn't it? To draw. To draw at this point. Do you guys have any other lines you want to look at? Okay. I'll take that as a no. Alrighty. You know what, guys? We're doing better. You know, out of 4 games, I lost 1. I learned from it. You know what? It's one of those, you know, you have to kind of go back through, find out where you missed, and keep pushing forward. But I gotta say one thing. 2 greens. Congrats, guys. Excellent work. Remember as well that there are no limits. There are plateaus. But you must not stay there. That's what Bruce Lee says. You must go beyond them. A plateau is like a staircase. You remember, you step and then you go to the next step. You're not satisfied just standing in the stairs by just staying on the first step. You want to get to the top. And that's each step is a plateau to get to the top of the stairs. You have to always remember that. And the way to do it is another quote that Bruce Lee said. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. So we have to apply. We can know a lot, but we must apply what we know. Because it's not just knowing, it's applying what you know. Willing is not enough. We must do. We can will to do something to get better. You can will to get better in chess, but if you don't take the step of actually doing it, you'll never be great. You can always have it in the mind, but you never do the work. You know what? That's the one thing that we have to remember is, like Maurice Ashley said, love the plateau. Bruce Lee said that as well, but you must go beyond it. You don't want to stay there. You want to go beyond. And like, you know what? I remember on Nights South Bronx when the kid visited his dad in prison. His dad talked to him about chess, and he said that his son was really upset that his dad was there. And he says, "Are you mad? You're mad that I'm still in here." And he says that's one thing that got him in there was he didn't take a second and actually count what he was losing. He went on emotions. He got upset, and that was what he said landed him there. So you know what? You don't want to get upset if you kind of make a mistake, hang a piece or something, or instead of having a rook, you have a bishop. You have to sit down and say, what do I have? What do I have to work with? And then go from there. Don't get upset, because if you get upset, you'll miss a way to even pull a draw, or maybe even a victory in that setup. But don't let your emotions get the better of you. And I want to thank the raid for coming in and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I'll leave you guys with those thoughts. As Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless. I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening. And guys, remember, keep pushing forward. Only look back to learn. Don't dwell there. Congrats. Go Team Chess Cruncher. You're doing great. And Lord willing, I'll be back on, and we'll go over some more studies, puzzles, games, and if you guys have games, we'll go over them, and I'll do my best to play some of you guys. But if it kind of interferes with the studies, I may only be able to do one. Maybe I'll have to schedule one for maybe tomorrow or something. Okay, guys? But have a great rest of the day, and we'll be back on tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Be blessed.